Speaking of the AC Transit, there it is.
That's the bus, right?
Yeah,
that's the
Transit.
bus that you
Yeah.
really make yourself at home in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
That's
Here
it's much better built these days.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Buses.
What's up? I'm Sam Maxon, aka Slam and Sam. I'm DJ, self-proclaimed Renaissance man. When I'm not in the studio, I'm diving into my hobbies and exploring many interests. With that comes my personal uncensored insights on anything, everything. Are you ready for it? This is The Slam Show.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. We're back. The Slam Show is going on June 26th, 2017, on this great Monday night here in the lovely city of Oakland, California. I am your host, Slam and Sam, coming at you, and I got a lot of good stuff to get into. And just kicking off the show, the return of my board man, Alex, a.k.a. Rock Rage in the house. Rock Rage, give yourself a big round of applause because this is very important that you have come through.
Give him an English clap here.
Is it?
That's an English clap, yeah.
That's pretty scary, man. And you consider like snapping your fingers claps?
English clap, yes.
English claps.
Yes.
Okay. Learning something new each day on the freaking Slam Show. Rock Rage, welcome back, brother. Thank you so much for coming through. And yeah, this show is going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of good stuff we're going to get into. But before we get into anything, I'd like to introduce everyone that's here, sitting down next to me, kicking back. We should just roll from the pre-show right into the show because we were on a roll, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
pre-show was good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Exactly. Before I get into it,
Oh.
my co-host in the house.
Hey.
Let's get down into his background. He is an elite photographer.
Well, thank you.
He has been on the program as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
He's also hosted, being the main host when I have to be away.
Believe it or not.
Exactly. And now tonight he is the co-host, and he goes by the nickname Compassionate Wolf.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Oscar Benjamin, everyone.
Oh, well, thank you. Very generous, thank you.
You're back.
I'm back once again.
And you're not sitting here.
No. I'm the back of the bus, as I said earlier.
I'm tired of hearing that descriptive because it seems like it's so like, I don't know, just backwards. Yeah, it just doesn't feel comfortable
It's
for
the
me.
cool part, so.
All right.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about Oscar, ladies and gentlemen. He thinks that being back of the bus is really cool.
It is very cool.
All right, we'll get into that
It's
later.
like the back of the limousine. It's very cool, right? You don't want to sit with the limo driver. You want to sit in the back of the
Well,
limousine.
see, a limousine's different from a freaking bus, bro. But I see your point.
Yes.
And we went into
The
a little.
furthest seat in the back is the coolest part of the limousine, right?
Yeah, I guess
So
so.
it's not the side seats. It's not the one where you could, talk to the limo driver. It's the back.
I don't know what damn limos you've been in. See, and that's the thing about Oscar's veteranness. He's been in so many situations, countless situations, whether it's with celebrities and events and so forth. And I'm sure the limousines you've been into have been elite and have been suspect.
Oh, yeah, of course. Very suspicious. And very nice, too. Even I've been in a limousine, actually, with a stripper pole, too. So there you go.
Lucky man. Bree's like saying, what limo is that? I want to go in there. That's awesome. Yeah, pictures of that somewhere?
Yes, actually, I do.
All right, post that online real quick.
I actually already have.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess I'm going to have to creep on your...
You might have to. There's an interesting story to that also, too.
I'm going to have to creep on your page and check that out.
Please
and
do.
Make sure. So, but yeah, thank you for being able to come through on the program. And yeah, let's go ahead and roll right
welcome.
into everything. Our special guest in the house. This young lady, she's done a lot with the Bay Area branding that she has as a model, and we're glad to have her on the program. She's also going to be at an event in July. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but overall, she's on the rise. She's making it happen. Let's have a big round of applause for Brissa Dominguez, a.k.a. Baybaddiebrie.
Hey, nicely done.
Hello. Well, thanks for having me. It's
You're welcome.
really-
Speak up to the mic real quick.
Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate the fact that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's start with
All right.
Sounds good.
That can't beat that. She's enthused and everything. Yeah, it's wonderful that we have one of the up and coming Instagram models here in the Bay Area. See, man, that's a certain stigma sometimes. It's like, okay, you're Instagram famous. What else do you bring on the table? But you have a lot that you're going to be bringing on the table, and we're going to be excited to go into that a little later into the
Yes.
interview process and let your fans and everyone out there know about what Bree is about versus just all these incredible blasts and so forth. So
Yes.
we're excited about that. Once again,
Most definitely.
Baybaddiebrie.
Hey.
So, all right, I'll get into a few things before we get into the interview segment. Be sure to follow me on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at I Am Slammin'. If you don't remember the name that I'm bringing up or you're having trouble, just Google it, and I'll lead you right on to all the links, and just click those. All right, this Wednesday and Thursday, June 28th and 29th, is the Slammin' Mix Show on Facebook Live. If you like all the coolest old school mashups, freestyle, Miami bass, hip hop, check that out. Starts at 7:30 Pacific time on my Facebook profile. Once again, I Am Slammin'. Check it out and converse with us. It's an interactive show where you can go into the comments and I'll see everything that you're typing, and I'll just interact with you, give you shout outs. We have everyone, check this out. Oscar, you've been on the program.
Yeah, it's a very good show. I highly recommend it.
And we've had people from Brazil, Tokyo, Philippines, everywhere just tuning in. And it's a different time zone over there. Some are
Exactly.
some are tuning in like at 6 a.m.
Mhm.
It's pretty impressive. So you guys check that out. It's this Wednesday and Thursday, the Slam Mix Show on Facebook Live. All right, Friday, I'll be in the mix live. If the mix shows aren't good enough for you and you want a little bit more, check me out over at Church Ward Pub, 1515 Park Street over in Alameda, just down the street here next to Oakland. I'll be in the mix. Oscar, you've been there.
Yes, it's another venue I highly recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very entertaining. And
Exactly.
Sam's incredible on the wheels of steel there.
Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you. Call me out as Sam. I love it. So I'll be in the mix the entire night playing all the new stuff, old stuff, hits from the past, hits that are tomorrow. Just come and check it out. It's a relaxed dress code, and you'll be able to just come in basically wearing just something relaxful, and you'll be good. Starts at 9 o'clock, and there's no cover charge or anything. Just come out and enjoy. It'll be a good time.
Tip your bartenders and buy a lot of drinks, and
Or bottle service.
yeah, there you go.
Exactly. And you should come out there, Bree. It's a good time. You could be able to promote. There's a lot of I'm sure if you just do a blast that you're showing up,
Yeah.
they'll be like, whoa. And that's the thing that'll be good for you, is that you could connect with a lot of people as well. So if you're not doing anything Friday night, come hang out. Church Ward Pub over in Alameda. It'll be a cool spot.
Definitely.
Cool. So, also in connection to Bree, TVEPN, the Slam Show, will be over at Sneaker Pop-Up July 15th, next month. And we're going to have a booth. We're going to give out prizes, have raffles. Bree's going to be in the house. Lady Sage will be in the house. It's going to be totally awesome. That's a must event to go in the Bay Area. A lot of people have you don't even have to be a sneakerhead or someone that collects. You just go there for the atmosphere. You go there for the camaraderie. You were there last year.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was a fun experience. It was my first time actually, and I got to see the whole environment, how it works, connecting with people, collaborating, meeting new people, photographers. It was awesome.
There you go. So there you have it, the sneaker pop-up July 15th over at the Oakland Convention Center. For more information, just Google sneaker pop-up, and that'll lead you to all the hookups in terms of being able to get tickets and all the incredible appearances from models to vendors. Sneaker pop-up 2017 over at the Oakland Convention Center. All right. Also, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the TVEPN YouTube channel. Just like it sounds, TVEPN. Subscribe, it's free. We got a lot of new content coming out, a lot of good stuff each and every week. So check that out on YouTube. All right. I was on vacation, guys. That's why the show hasn't been on.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, technically, I could do the show over in another location.
Oh, yes.
But the thing you have to have is very reliable internet.
Yes.
If you have slow connections, it's just going to be a problem.
How is the state of internet in the Philippines these days? Or what part of the Philippines were you in exactly?
In Manila.
Oh, then how is the internet in Manila? It must be.
It's pretty quality.
Okay.
Yeah. You just have to know that that's where you're going to have to stick.
Okay.
Here, you could kind of like float around different Wi-Fis and still get relatively the same speed. But over in the Philippines, if you have a fast connection, you're staying there. Because if you go like drifting someplace else, you're going to get some fluctuation, and it could dip really low, like way slow dial-up speed. Remember dial-up?
Yes, of course.
AOL.com and all that. So, yeah, that's the thing that I'd like to do in the future. Be able to do a broadcast, whether it's a talk show or the mix show over in the Philippines or in any location.
Does Manila still have a lot of the internet cafes, or?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of them are quite suspect.
Yes, of
Meaning
course.
you go there, it's like internet cafe, but you go in, it's like, man, there's really nothing happening in here. And I'll get into that a little later.
That's why I brought it up, actually.
So yeah, as far as the trip is concerned, I want to give major props to family over there. There's so many to mention, but thank you very much for being able to house myself, Lady Sage, and being able to make a great environment comfortable. There was so many things that we did each and every day, whether it's doing like this inflatable island
Nice.
thing that you ever heard of that, the inflatable island?
That's news to me.
Okay. Inflatable island, it's what it is, it's what it sounds like. It's an inflatable island, like not super like a mile long or anything, like the Death Star. But it's about, I'd say, a football field length.
Wow.
And
That's
it's
impressive.
And it's floating on water next to the beach. And it's just basically a big, giant, inflatable, like, competition thing, kind of like American Ninja. So you go through all these areas, and you just try to, like, battle them.
Wow, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Here's the problem. I can't swim worth shit.
Oh,
No.
So I ended up just going on it, and you're wearing a life vest, so you're fine. So everyone else is just doing their thing. Lady Sage was like going off and jumping off the obstacles, having a great time just because she could swim.
Yes.
And so did several other people. I'm just sitting like with the others that are just like, we'll just be cool.
You sitting in the kiddie pool?
No, well, there's not even a kiddie pool. It's like the kiddie freaking harbor area where you're staying afloat. So just kicking it. All right, everyone, just have a good time. But overall, it was cool, and that was one of the great experiences. Another thing too, because we're going to be going there probably twice a year moving forward. I need to work on my language of Tagalog and get that right. Make sure I need to work on that. I also need to be able to just get acquainted with a lot of what happens there.
And Tagalog is very fascinating because it's a mishmash of like English and Spanish. And so what point when you're speaking Tagalog, do you inject an English word or a Spanish word?
We'll see that.
I'm always been curious about that.
Well, like I had mentioned on the previous time on the pre-show, there's a term called Tanglish, which is half English, half Tagalog.
Yeah.
And you're just basically saying a certain Filipino word, but you're connecting an English word. And that's how you get by.
Okay.
And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Especially coming from a foreigner like me. I sound straight up like I'm not from there. It's like, this motherfucker we could take advantage of it. And that's how they look at it. And I don't mind. But I just have to get better with that. And hopefully I could just like take some like study courses on YouTube or something and get it right. But overall, that's something I'll work on. I didn't get so sick this time. Last 2 times going there, had sort of a upset stomach, but that was because of just eating random crazy street food.
Okay.
Yeah, the street food is what gets you. You start going off there and asking, oh, let me try this. Oh, what is it? Chicken feet. All right, let me try it.
Chicken feet is good. I love chicken feet.
Well, see, that's the thing. Street food is what it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, if you go to Mexico.
So it's probably actually pigeon feet instead.
You don't know. You don't know how long that food has been out there.
Yeah.
How long. There's no expiration. There's no health code. So
Yeah,
you
of
might be
course.
eating freaking chicken feet from a month ago. And it's cool to them. It's like, fuck it. Yeah, we're not going to get in trouble. He's just going to get sick. So, yeah, that's one of the things that that I'm pretty proud of that I didn't experience was get ill. Because when you're on the plane ride back, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's percolating. Next thing you know, you're getting
deadly.
up, and freaking the
Yeah.
dude you're sitting next to, he's like, motherfucker, stay still. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, overall, it was a great trip. Can't wait to go next year. And, again, props out to everyone that took care of us. And it's an enormous family. Too many people name I don't want to start naming, because if I leave out one, they're like, oh, say I
I'm going to
forgot.
call you on the show
Exactly,
immediately.
exactly. So I'll also be posting up some stuff on my social media as the weeks progress of our trip experiences, videos, and so forth. So be sure to follow me on I Am Slammin' on all social media. All right. Before we get into anything, before we get into the Bree stuff, Oscar, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? This week I'm going to LA to actually do a major photo shoot with my client, Lily Jean, of course. And we're going to do 4 or 5 different looks. So we're going to start off with a Little Mermaid. We're going to start off with a Little Mermaid look. Then we're going to do a vintage look, a CEO look, and then Rosie the Riveter type thing we're going to do also. So we're going to go a number of locations, Bradbury Building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're gonna go visit the new hotel that's just been erected in L.A. That area.
Did you just say erect?
That is a
Dirty.
technical term,
Dirty,
sir.
man. How dare you? I'll continue.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go to the observatory, of course, the Griffith Observatory.
Okay.
Which has been the site of many motion pictures, from The Rebel Without a Cause to the Rocketeer.
James Dean.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and there's a number of things. Yesterday I was running around in the Stanford University. I was checking out some new gels I got. So there's this interesting,
Gels?
what a gel is, right? It covers over your lights. And
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
thought you were talking about the penal gel or something
No,
like that.
not jails, no. Gel, sir. G-E-L.
I apologize, Oscar.
It's all right.
My mind's been in the dirt since this trip. Continue.
So it's, I like doing most of the effects I like doing are in-camera effects. I think it's the cleanest type of effects, and I hate post-production. So I always try to do all my effects. I always try to do all my interesting lighting techniques in camera, so I can do minimum amount of, effects afterwards in post-production, which is excruciating for me. I hate post-production.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd just
there's-
rather just shoot and let someone else do
the
it.
best possible images. Well, I do it later on, but I want to get the best possible images I could get.
Yeah.
So I come from the old school, which is the film days, where it was more expensive to make a mistake. So if
Exactly.
you made a mistake using film, that's a costly mistake. So that translated to my digital days, which is what I have now, who I am right now, and basically I get the best possible image, thinking I'm still shooting film. So
Gotcha.
basically, that's how you do it. So there's this interesting. Have you heard of the sculptor called Rodin?
No.
No. Okay, he was a French sculptor, circa 1880s, somewhere around there. But
Okay.
Stanford University has this great number of sculptures of his, and he's a man. This is how you remember him. He's the man that created the famous Thinking Man.
Yeah, that pose.
Yeah, that's the artist. So they actually have one. He created about 16 of those. So they actually have one at the Stanford University.
Gotcha.
In the museum there. This is a museum that nobody knows about, so you have run of the place if you actually are aware of it.
Okay.
But he's got this beautiful this beautiful sculpture called the Gates of Hell. Basically, it's this huge, about 30 feet tall metal sculpture. It's about 30 by 25 or so. So I wanted to light it up using a red gel that had literally the flames of hell right there. So it was successful, and I posted a shot of myself in front of the gates of hell there. So,
Very appropriate.
yes, but
Proper gel and everything.
yeah, but I do that kind of stuff whenever I do a major photo shoot. I test out everything, my equipment in the field on location. So then whatever problems I may encounter, I'll quickly correct them, a couple of days beforehand. So then there won't be a surprise and the client's not waiting. Hey, this guy doesn't know what the hell is he doing, or I'm taking up the time, because you want the least amount of. The biggest worry on any location shoot is your equipment failing on you, so you don't want to have that worry. You want to be concentrating on shooting your model, getting the best possible images, and you don't want to worry about your equipment. Oh man, my camera's down, all this.
Oh yeah, that's
that kind of
disastrous.
Yeah, well, that's why you bring at least one extra camera, of course.
Exactly. And speaking of which, Bree, you got to book him early if you need him to be your photographer. He does some quality work.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so put that on the to-do list.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'll be leaving in LA in about Wednesday. I got to do the Saturn Awards Wednesday night. Then after that, the rest of the week, I'll be shooting Lily Jean in the very locations. So
awesome.
In LA. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's good. I'm pitching her. I'm trying to pitch her as Disney's next Little Mermaid. So I'm trying to get a contract with Disney, and that's gonna be my major pitch, my major push to get to the studio by actually, I got the fins for her and everything else. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I put some green highlights in her hair because the ocean is reflecting and the whole thing.
See, that's the thing about Oscar. Not only is he a photographer, but he's also an agent, semi-agent.
A manager, actually.
Manager, yeah. Distinct difference.
Yes. Very different.
Right on. Well, thank you, Oscar, for the updates.
Well, you're welcome.
So let's roll right into it. Our special
please.
guest, Brissa Dominguez, a.k.a. Baybaddiebrie, in the house. So how do you like the show so far?
I like it. It's
good.
fun.
Yeah, because you're I wouldn't say complaining, but you're kind of like concerned. Oh, this is my first show, which it is.
It is.
And I know a lot of your fans out there are really tuning in and kind of excited to put a voice to the face that they've been seeing on Instagram and other social media. So let's back up. You're originally from Mexico.
Yes.
What age did you move to the U.S.?
I moved out here when I was 11 years old.
Gotcha. And how was that change? Because at 11, you know everything that's going on. Was it pretty comfortable for you?
It was a whole different experience because growing up in Mexico was totally different, and moving to the U.S. is like a whole different world. You see everything different, and going through like the language, learning the language. It was hard. It's like a whole different world to me growing up.
Well, it looks like you picked up the language pretty well. Did you go through any additional schooling, or just naturally through the schools that you were enrolled in, that's how you learned English?
Yes, that's how I did it. It was hard at first, but I adapt pretty well by within the first year, the second year, and then I started picking up everything.
That's good. Yeah, it sounds fine to me, right?
Yes,
Oscar?
Very passable English. Definitely.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oscar here can speak Spanish fluently, right?
See?
Sí, yo puedo hablar, sí. Español de República Dominicana.
La República.
Sí. Es diferente, un poco diferente de México.
El acento.
Sí, exacto.
Sí.
There you go. Now I could just exit the show and you guys could turn it into the Telemundo channel real quick.
Univision.
Telemundo remix of the Slam Show. I like it. So, growing up here and stuff like that, I'm sure it was a challenge because of the English barrier, but you overcame that. Now, let's go to the whole modeling thing, how that kind of became your interest. What was the inspiration? Did you see something on TV? Did you read a magazine? What was your inspiration?
Well, growing up, I grew up very poorly in Mexico, which I had a different vision. I wanted to succeed, grow, And when I moved out here to the U.S., that's when I started watching TV, beauty, shows, all of this. So that's what caught my eye. I wanted to like be there. I wanted to like be a model. I started daydreaming. I wanted to be in like the that world, and that's how I actually started everything at a young age, just daydreaming.
Gotcha. I think we all had that
Yes.
in some form or another.
The power of dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't let your parents smash your dreams, damn it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So, was there any particular person that you looked up to that I want to be like her as a model, or was it just seeing like the Victoria's Secret thing?
Yes.
Okay.
It was more like that. It was like I wanted to be there. I looked up to Selena
Yeah.
Quintanilla. She was my inspiration. Excuse me,
Mhm.
inspiration.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be just like her because she came from the Latino community, being Mexican, first generation, and she did it. I looked up to her, so she was like my role model. So
That's awesome.
So, out of curiosity, if you looked up to it, did you want to actually become a singer also, or?
not that I wanted to become a singer, but like dancing is one of my passions. Dancing, acting. I don't have the voice to sing, but if I could, I will do it. Why not? But dancing, acting, modeling, it's what I like. I enjoyed. It's part of the field.
Gotcha.
Industry.
That's great. Now, you just pointed out that you already knew that you didn't have the singing chops.
Yeah.
So I think everyone could, to be honest with you. Just take a few lessons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's a matter of confidence.
Exactly.
You know, go to the
Yeah.
karaoke a couple of times and you're fine.
Dude, I'll tell you this right now. I was fucked up at an early age with karaoke because in high school I had my first love, and this was senior year.
So I start
And-
playing the violins.
No, it
Go
was
ahead. Go ahead.
so it was a Filipino karaoke night with the family and stuff like that, and they called me up, and I was like, oh man, I never sung in my life. So I grabbed the mic, and I was just I knew I was terrible, embarrassing myself, but I did it anyways. I was off key and everything. Maybe it was nervousness. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I was scarred from that point on. I said, I'm just going to be a music producer.
Yes.
I'm just going to stay behind, make the keys, make the music,
We
and
should
that's
go
it.
out. We should go out and karaoke. I love karaoke.
night.
Really?
Yeah, I
You're gonna
love
come-
it.
As long as you pick me up and take me home,
Yeah.
I'll be cool with that. But yeah, it's all about the whole confidence thing. And if you don't have the confidence, you're not going to be able to have any chance of succeeding. So, at what point did you realize, I'm going to take this modeling thing seriously? I'm going to take advantage of all these tools online, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and build. At what point did you start doing that?
This year, 2017, I actually 2016 last year,
Yeah.
I made a goal. I was like, 2017 is going to be my year. It's going to like
Yeah.
yay. I said that. I was like, 2017, I'm gonna start like working with photographers, collaborating, and even came out with my own website, which is still working on. So that's what I actually did. Because the last year I had opportunity, but I wanted to be a little bit more prepared, a little more like have an idea of where I wanted to be.
Gotcha. Yeah, you got to get your feet wet somehow.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, obviously, you're going to have your first shoot. How was that experience? Can you walk us through? Was it kind of, were you a nervous wreck? Was the guy a creep? Talk about it. How was that? Give us a picture of that experience.
I've had quite a few photographers that wanted to shoot, but you really don't know if they're really like
Legitimate
photographers,
or-
because there's a lot of people out there that just say, oh, let me shoot,
Of
or
course.
come to the house and let's shoot, and it's like they're not really photographers. So we really have to keep an eye on that.
The rule of thumb when you actually go
Yeah.
in someone's studio, always take at least a couple of friends or one or two friends with you. So don't ever go alone to a
Or
studio.
bring a
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first experience was good, but I was like quite concerned of how I looked or if I was posing right,
Right, right.
or what like how to pose or moving my hair,
Yeah.
lifting up your chin.
Well, there's a process now. You just have to have everyone in place. You have the photographer, then you have the makeup artist, and you also have an assistant that kind of like makes sure your hair is going. So when you did this, was it just you and the photographer and that's it?
Me and the photographer,
Yeah,
yes.
see.
So
Okay.
it was a little different. He
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
did my makeup and how he wanted.
The
Gotcha.
photographer did your makeup?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, unusual.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't see you doing any
no,
of that shit.
No.
That's for sure. You just
I don't. No, I don't. I don't touch my models. So no.
Exactly, exactly. But
They-
continue. So your makeup was done by a photographer.
Yes.
You shot it, and how long was the shoot?
An hour.
Damn, that's pretty
That's
quick.
quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me and
the-
Oscar are like, damn, makeup guy,
Wow.
hour shoot. Yeah. So how many outfits?
Just two.
Two?
Yeah, it was something quick.
Gotcha. Wow, interesting. Well, that was your first experience.
That was my
Yes.
first experience.
What did you learn from all that?
What I learned, well, how like to communicate with the camera. Photographer,
Now, was this guy easy to communicate with? Did he speak a little Spanish? Was he what type of character was he?
it was easy to communicate. He's actually well experienced, and
Gotcha. Good.
it actually made me feel better.
Mm.
Okay, so he was legit,
Yeah, he
100%
was-
Yeah.
legit.
Yes.
All right.
That's
He
a good
wasn't
thing.
like on the fence of being weird.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
When it starts like that, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You could tell right away.
Yeah.
That's why I was like very picky who I'll shoot with first,
Yeah.
or who like actually like work with, because like I said, you never know what's actually out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. So how many like shoots since then that you've experienced?
How many? I would say like 6, 5.
Oh, that's
I just started this year.
yeah. Awesome. The more you get these shoots under your belt, the more comfortable you'll be.
The more confident.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure you were a wreck on that first shoot. Like, oh my God, is this what I really want to do?
Yes.
And hey, it's worked out so far, right?
Yes.
And going back to last year, we had talked about it. We're going to be at the sneaker pop-up next month. You actually did the 2016 sneaker pop-up. And how was that experience? And was that like at the very beginning of your modeling, and you had the opportunity to be at this event, and you said, I'll just take it, no
Yeah.
problem?
I actually started with them.
There you go.
That was like my first experience attending an event.
That's cool.
I actually did attend to like car shows before, but it wasn't like I was the model. It was more like
Attending.
attending, seeing things
Gotcha.
around. And
Have you done any car show modeling, or would you consider that in the future? Like,
I actually did street low.
oh yeah.
Yes, It was actually what was it? A couple weeks.
What was it, lowrider or street low?
Street low.
Those are two different
lowrider.
types.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You have lowrider and street low.
Street low. Okay.
Street low, I
I think
think.
it was lowrider. Yeah.
And how was that?
It was great. It was like a new experience as well.
Gotcha.
I got to see how everything works.
Gotcha. And you had to pose with the cars. You're in your bikini and all that good stuff.
Yeah, different cars, working with models as well.
That's cool. Now, as far as like you just mentioned about working with models, have you felt that you've been embraced with a lot of the ones that have been doing it for a while and they're veterans in the game, or do you feel that there's kind of like a little pushback where, oh, okay, here comes the new hot chick. We got a hazer because see if she's down
Let's
for
hope they don't haze her.
it. Yeah.
Oh no.
So has it always been a good experience with other ladies?
So far, yes. We all got along.
Gotcha.
And worked together.
No cattiness or anything like
No
that?
cattiness. I've seen looks, but I really don't pay attention to that.
So like do
I'm
the
more
up and
like-
down look?
Yeah, more
No
like the up and
showgirls
down,
action or anything.
And I try to keep it more like. I try to keep it more like cool with the models.
Gotcha, gotcha.
That's the best way to do it.
Well, because your career is so much in its infancy. You don't want to burn bridges
No.
or
Exactly.
have some type of rift because that'll end up coming to bite you later on.
Yeah.
Now let's get into kind of like how you're doing these events and so forth, because you're doing appearances, you're there. It's different from a shoot, because a shoot you go there, you do the shoot, you go home. At an event, you're there for hours. People are approaching you. They're asking for pictures, autographs. How is that experience to you? Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, now I am. At first, it was a little like I was intimidated.
Yeah.
But now I'm a little more confident. It's like, oh, can I take a picture with you? Sure,
Good.
So I'm a little more confident doing that. At first, it was like, oh, okay, because I'm thinking how I'm coming on a cell phone camera, because the cell phone camera and a nice camera is actually, there's a big difference there.
Yeah. Well, actually, the iPhone is starting to close that gap a little bit.
Perhaps.
A little bit. Oscar, do you have any questions for our young guests?
I'm curious. Okay, we were talking about your shows that you've done. Now, were you discovered at a show, or did you approach someone at a show to actually be part of these shows, or how did this process work out for the first couple of shows?
I was contacted
You were
through
contacted?
Instagram. Like, they see my page,
okay.
they liked my style, the fact that I have quite fans in the Bay Area following. So that's how I actually was contacted.
So you created your whole persona on Instagram that led to being part of the shows, and basically.
Yes, that's how I started everything, through
Okay.
Instagram. Taking
Okay.
selfies, photos, and eventually the opportunity came.
So now, being part of these shows, do you see it as a good networking opportunity, where you're actually talking to other people, part of other shows, or maybe there's some other promoters that approach you like, hey, perhaps we want you to be in this music video? Is there anything led to music videos, perhaps, or
Yes, totally. That's why I like attending events, because attending a new event or going to events, the opportunities are there. There's like different photographers, like a lot more people you can collaborate with. This Strelo, I actually made quite a few people who want to work with me in the future. A music video coming within like next month. I'm filming it.
Awesome.
So,
Can you tell us the artist, or is that under wraps at the moment?
Oh, his name is Cam.
Kim?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
It's something more internationally from India.
Gotcha.
Okay, interesting.
They want to work with me, and we're doing it.
Wow.
That was actually a great opportunity that I got to.
Congratulations. Nice.
Yeah, it just fell in your lap, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is great. I'm going to take advantage of it. Cool. Now, as far as these events, obviously, not everything is a bed of roses. There's going to be creepers, and individuals are going to make you feel uncomfortable. Can you share an experience where that occurred and you had to like, okay, security, or you had to like punch them yourself? And how was that?
I have experienced it once. It's more like a fan come in and say, oh, can I take a picture of you? Yeah, okay. And grabbing your waist and kind of like going down a little. It's like, that's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's the only experience I experienced so far.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like awkward.
So how did you deal with that? Did you like wiggle out of
I
it,
kinda
or did you like did you slap his hand and say, asshole? What'd you do?
I kind of like moved around. I was like, like kind of like letting
Adjusted,
him know
yeah.
that like I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. Like,
So
saying,
did he adjust and it was like, I'm sorry, or did he just keep on trying to grab?
It was like, oh, sorry, but I kind of like kept trying, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Wow.
That's some of the things that we have to go and like.
Gotcha. Yeah, and the reason why I asked this question is because when we've had models come onto the show, we want to find out how they were like dealt with in that situation. And I forgot which model it was, but there was an instance where she was doing a car show or import show, and the fan was like cool at first, and what happened was gave her a big hug but lifted her.
Yes.
And there was a friend
Wow.
of his that was next to him, and because she was wearing kind of like a short skirt,
Shorts, yeah.
gave a little peep
Uh-oh.
party and took it at that moment.
Oh.
And she felt very disrespected because it was just
Yeah.
all timed to
Yeah, of
where
course.
that was
And it was probably intentional on his part.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's too bad.
exactly. And you have the guy there like
Wow.
on one knee doing it, it's like he already knew that it was going to be some type of weird shot.
Yeah, I've
So-
seen a number of different car shows that I've done over the years where people grab the models that are dancing on the stage, and
Yeah.
all sorts of lunacy that happens.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Well, it's something that obviously it comes with the territory, and you should be thankful it doesn't happen too often.
Yeah. I kind of stay away from it, like, letting them know, okay, it's just a picture. It's not for you to, like.
Fondle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And have you kind of like experienced it where you could tell someone from a distance, or like you're just mind your own business, but you could tell this guy has a weird stare?
Yes.
And that's like, you could tell it's like the ultimate creeper.
she's got the
X-ray
model
vision.
Sixth Sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just the way they approach you, like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, or like mamacita and stuff like that. And it's like,
Oh man, when they start going to Spanish, what are the Spanish words that are just like awesomely creepy? Say it, Oscar. I want to hear it.
I can't think of any at the moment.
Really?
Actually,
Did I just
sorry.
throw you off? Put you
Yeah,
on
he
the
threw
spot?
me off. Yeah.
So it's the whole mamacita freak.
que chula estás, like all these words. It's like, okay, that's a little too much.
So when they go into Spanish, it's like, number one, they know that I am from the native land, and I will connect with it.
Well, the whole point is they're trying to get in a little closer. Oh, I speak the same language, so therefore we have a better connection. That kind of nonsense. Yeah.
Typically, yeah.
Trying to work that angle, trying to.
Now, have you had any weird proposals?
One thing I experience is more like they come out to you and they start like you said, cool, having a cool conversation kind of, and they want to get your number. Like, oh, can I get your number? Oh, I want to take you out, and it's like, it's just a little too much.
Yeah. And just think about it from this perspective. You're meeting a guy at a venue that's supposedly single that wants to get your number. It's like, okay, what kind of relationship am I going to get into?
Exactly.
If I get into this guy's relationship, he wants to keep going out to these events. Who knows what he's doing? So it's already a red flag. But then again, no one's perfect.
Exactly.
So, all right, well, that's cool that it hasn't been too much of a crazy situation for you. Now, as far as what the sneaker pop-up that's coming up in July, do you have anything planned that's going to be different from how you did it last year?
Yes, I definitely wanna, like I said, I'm coming out with like posters, shirts. So I'm thinking more like being there, signing, and
just
having shirts.
Gotcha.
So, like,
Gotcha. Now, are you going to be giving away this stuff or selling it?
I need a profit, so selling them.
You're not like, oh, here's freaking $500 to everyone. Yeah, I think it's the shirts definitely, and I don't know. Do you have a plan of how you're going to approach it? Because sometimes models, they'll give like deals. They'll like, okay, if you purchase this and this, then you'll get a free autograph. Or are you just going to charge for everything? Like, autograph too, $20.
Exactly.
I'll even kiss it.
Yeah. I'm thinking more like if they purchase a shirt, give a free poster, sign in, maybe a kiss.
On
the poster.
All right,
yes.
all right.
Yeah.
Not to, yeah.
Now, that was the case.
Like you
It'll
said, on the
be $300.
poster, personalized.
Well, they're
And that'll
probably.
be on the cheek.
Well, eventually,
No.
what's going to happen is some guy's going to say, "Can you sign my arm?" and that kind of thing. Then
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's
Something like
Now,
That's
if they
gonna
want
happen.
any body parts signed, are you going to charge them?
no.
Really?
wow. That's
So,
generous.
like grabbing the Sharpie right here is like, okay, can you sign my chest? You'll do it for free.
I mean,
See, these are things you have to kind
Yeah,
of be
you have to
think
mindful.
about
See,
that, yeah.
so Oscar and I here on the Slam Show, we're trying to like cultivate your perspective to make sure that you know what you're getting into.
well, that's something I also experienced the last
You had to sign someone's body.
experience more like, like as I actually did took posters for the sneaker pop-up
Yeah.
last year, and they were like, oh, can I get a poster? And I was like, I'm actually sending them for like, sell them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And it kind of like wasn't like clicking.
Yeah,
or they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, never mind.
Exactly.
So it's
See,
Well,
you have
most
to be
people
cool
always
at
try
it.
to get
Yeah.
something for, free.
you could tell they change up really quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
It's
course.
like, oh, you're so beautiful. Can I get a poster? Oh, it's $20. They change up.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely.
Like, motherfucker. I don't know. That's how it is. That's human
Yeah.
nature in a lot of ways. Now, that's from the guy's perspective. Ladies, have ladies like come up to you as fans and like, oh, I love you. I like how you do your makeup or whatever. Have you had that sort of response yet?
Yes, I had a few just write me or even meet me or like, oh, you have an amazing body. What did you do? Workouts. Or about my makeup, more like compliment, or like, oh, you're beautiful and stuff like this.
That's good.
So I really appreciate all of this. It actually like
That's
makes
good.
me feel
Oh, it's
good.
Very civilized reaction. Wow,
Well,
nobody criticizing or anything. There's a lot of times you'll get a lot of critical comments online.
now I'm coming
People-
up. I have a very uncivilized question coming up right here.
By all means.
Has a girl ever
was-
hit up on you?
Hit on like hit
I don't know if that was uncivilized.
Yes.
It's on the on the brink.
Yes. It
Really?
happened.
Now, has this been like the whole like DM thing, or at an event, or how's that approach?
More like DM.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And do you just ignore it, or do you like I'm
I
kind of curious.
ignore it. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I ignore it. I wouldn't like.
Well, see that's the thing. In this industry, in the model industry, there's that sort of like connection you have to kind of like work with, especially with women, because if you kind of like shun them away, they tend to kind of like give you that whole like bad reputation. They tell their friends.
But
they
there is a
tell-
very fine line, though. You don't want to, string anybody along or
true.
anything like that. So
True.
it's a tightrope you have to walk.
Now,
So
these chicks that are hitting you up, are they hot themselves, or are they just marginal?
They're some of them are hot. Some are like just like a little like overweight,
Gotcha,
wanting
gotcha.
to like lose, wanting to look good.
Gotcha. Okay, so for the most part, it's for advice, fitness advice.
Yeah,
Okay,
fitness, how to like what kind of workouts to like.
but the hot chicks are the ones that are trying to hit up on you, and you sense that.
Well,
It's
some-
okay. It's okay. You could brag a tad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's part of the industry. You're not going to get everything smooth sailing from the get. You're going to have these little waves of that are just going to kind of like, okay, am I doing this for the right reasons?
Yeah.
So far so good. You're in it for the long haul.
Yes.
You're not going to quit like in a few years or anything. You can just go all the way with it.
Yes, this is what I like doing, and I want to continue, gain experience, and
Awesome.
go the long way.
That's what we want here.
Yes.
I'm curious. Okay, a lot of models have this ideal image of themselves, this concept, and they'll talk to a photographer. I want you to flesh out this kind of ideal for me. Do you have something like that where you want to be this particular character? You want to portray, a vision of something, or do you have anything like that that you want to pass along to a photographer, or do you want to be involved in the kind of a concept model photography process, or?
It's connection. Like, I have a vision of what I want to project, look, and a photo shoot, and that's how I go. Like a
Okay.
vision of getting work
That whole
done.
that
Yeah,
presentation.
Like, that presentation, like just mainly a vision of how I want everything to look
So,
worked. And
so there's not a particular character perhaps you want to portray in some of your model shoots, or do you have any? You mentioned Selena, of course.
Yeah.
Would you want to be involved in possibly like a Selena photo shoot of some sort?
yes,
Yes, because there's a
There-
vague
there-
resemblance you have towards.
there
to her,
has to
actually.
be character behind the photo.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Like on your recent Instagram Live, you did a shoot where I believe it was sort of like a fitness theme. Was that something you suggested, or was that the photographer's suggestion to do that sort of presentation?
It was more like mine.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that's good.
Yes, that's great.
You command everything rather than the first. I mean, it's always good to have a collaboration where it's almost like 50-50 because you're worried about your looks, and if someone could come in to kind of handle some of like the just polishing of that presentation, that helps out a lot.
Yes.
It goes a long ways, because I know how those shoots go. I've done a number of them.
Oh, yes.
Not with this gentleman yet.
No, not yet.
And also,
that's coming up soon.
Exactly. All the years, Bree, that we've known each other, he has not yet done a direct shoot.
I'm so sorry.
Because as a DJ and producer, we have to kind of upkeep our image to a certain degree for flyers and presentations and so forth, and that's something I have to rely on a photographer for.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to make that happen.
Yes, sir.
When you're back from LA.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, what's in store for Bree in the next few years? What are you seeing? You talked about your website. It's going to be launching in July, and that is the domain name,
Baybaddiebrie.com.
All right. So that's going to be selling all the products, right?
Yes.
Tell us what the site is going to have besides the products.
My background, more like what I'll be doing. Hopefully in the future, I get to like do more stuff. Like perhaps I want to like start taking dance classes. Like I told you guys, I love dancing. I want to learn choreographies. I would love to get into designing my own clothes as well, designing my own brand.
Nice.
So let's hope everything comes out right, and that's my goal within the next few
years.
So you're going to be in a video coming up. Do you have aspirations to actually get in that side of the business, motion pictures, television, or you want to just stick to videos maybe?
I want to do different stuff.
Gotcha.
So I want to like
everything except for singing.
Yeah.
You're like me. I'll do everything but singing and swimming for now.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to. Do you know how to swim?
I do, but I'm very slow.
Really? You can stay afloat and not drown or anything, right?
If I don't get tired.
Yeah.
But usually I tend to get tired so quick that I'm just like, I actually had like a crazy experience because I almost drowned.
Oh.
Oh, really? Talk about
Yeah.
that. You were a little kid.
No, I was 21.
Last week.
Last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're 21.
I was 21, and it actually happened in the Sacramento River.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I've
It's
heard a lot of
yeah.
crazy stuff
Yeah.
about that place.
It's bad over there.
Okay, go on.
So my friends swam across to like a big rock where they can dive in.
Gotcha.
And I was the only one who was scared, and I was like, oh my God, like everybody's swimming across, then upset me. So they were like having a good time, and I was out here by myself. So I finally took the decision to like swim and not be scared, and I did it, but I was so close to get to the other side. I got scared, I panicked, I don't know what happened, and I turned around and I started swimming back.
Gotcha.
So
And you have no life vest or anything?
no, nothing. And then there was hardly people there, and all my friends were on the other side.
Were they
so
paying attention when this was happening?
They were, but I kind of felt a little upset because they were just staring and didn't even help me.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know what was happening.
I'll tell you this right now. It's the most fucking frightening thing
Yeah.
to know that you can't swim any further or you have no ability and you feel like you're
you
helpless.
better learn to swim quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a good thing to know. Yeah.
See, because on the previous trip, not this past one, we did wakeboarding where you get pulled on this rope and stuff like that, and you're on top of the water. And I fell in halfway into the whole like course thing, and I had a life vest, and everyone's saying, "Oh, it's only 7 feet, whatever," and fell in. And mind you, I can't swim worth shit, and I'm like, I fell in all like at least 3 feet. My head's submerged, and I'm freaking already panicking.
Wow.
I go back up, and I'm trying to like swim to get to shore, and I'm like, I'm like, I go, someone get me, and finally, and everyone's just staring at me.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were just staring at me.
That's horrible.
And after like 3 minutes, here comes one of the family members, and he comes and grabs me, and all's fine. But for that moment,
yes,
I was just like petrified, like, holy shit, I'm actually in
terrifying.
water. And luckily for the life vest, because I would have sunk like a freaking rock. That's for sure. So you swam back the other side and you just said, I'm good, and just dealt with it, right?
No, that's when everything happened. I got to like the end, and then I thought I made it, and I step on like a rock, and the rock just went down, and I just go down, and I was like actually at the end, and then I go down. I was trying to get up, and all I seen is like you're saying, like all you see is like people staring at you. They weren't even help.
Yeah.
And it was really bad. I don't know how it happened that I got out, but like I think one last try where I was like super tired, where I was like sinking all the way, and I just lift myself up and step again on that same rug with like the tip of my toe.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how I actually started walking with like the tip of my toes. And then I just got out and lay down in the sun for like a whole hour.
Oh, so you were actually at the shallow part where you just walked the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you lucked out. You didn't have to.
Say the least.
Yeah, you didn't have to struggle. You just walked the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need swimming lessons too.
Yes, definitely.
Can you swim, Oscar?
Yes, very well.
Really?
Yes.
Motherfucker. You seen him?
Look.
He's like, he said very well. So we could dump your ass in the middle of the Bay Area
I'll
ocean.
be fine, yes.
You'll be fine.
Yes.
For how long?
Depends on what's the furthest landmass I have to swim to. Because
Oh shoot! You'll swim like a fish going to the landmass.
yeah,
no
I'll
problem.
keep going. Yeah,
Wow.
hopefully.
Damn. When did you
But
learn
the
how
bay,
to swim?
the bay is pretty violent though. The water.
Yeah, exactly.
Swimming in the bay is not a joke whatsoever.
Yeah, the tides
Windy.
come,
Yeah.
it submerges you, and you're saying you're like a freaking Navy SEAL.
Yeah,
to
it's
be
it's
freaking-
pretty cold too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's very cold. So that the hypothermia might get you.
Gotcha.
So.
But you'll be like a freaking superhero and
I'll
fight off.
I'll try because if your life is, depending on it, of course. But I know how to swim very well. I learned early on. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yes.
What if the water's
No.
super cold and
That's-
you're good at
that-
swimming, but like sometimes
That's
like,
the
you never
problem. You
know.
might you might just freeze up, and that's one of the dangers. And then you get your different body parts. You get the cramps. Those
Yeah.
are the worst.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, the whole cramps thing
Yeah,
will get
that's-
you. Once you
yeah.
get the cramps,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like,
Oh no.
yeah,
that's pretty bad.
yeah. See, that's where, Bree, do me a favor. Always wear a life vest.
Yes.
Fuck everyone else. Seriously, wear a life vest at all moments when you're near water. As much you just go on freaking eBay and buy one for yourself. Get
Yes.
a nice, cute one. And when you're going out camping or anything, it's always with you. You don't want to take any risks.
Yes.
So,
Especially if you're not a good swimmer. So.
A cute pink one.
exactly, exactly. We'll
Start
hook it,
selling them on your website.
exactly. We'll hook it up. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the interview process. Let's go ahead and close out the show with the shouts and plugs from everyone here at the table. Oscar, take it
Yes.
away.
Oh, I want to shout out to, of course, my client, Lily Jean. I'll be seeing you this week.
You don't have pictures or anything like
Not
you do?
today.
On the last show he hosted, he was like,
Wait.
it was really cute.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll be a good photo shoot, and we're gonna have a good time. And that's basically www.lilyjean.com. Of course, you can always catch me on my Facebook at www.OscarRben Facebook. Hey, and of course my own website www.compassionatewolfproductions.com. There you go.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Bree, take it away. Shouts and plugs, family members, anyone.
Shout out to the people who's been working with me, who's given me the opportunity to collaborate and grow together. I really appreciate everything. And shout out to my family, a mi gente latina que me está viendo.
Speak Spanish to go off. Let them know because they're going to see it.
Support your local Baybaddiebrie. Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me here.
Yes.
You're
Oscar,
very welcome.
Sam.
Sam. I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, I didn't forget. I just quite didn't.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll let it slide for this moment. And that's it.
Just for the moment.
It's okay because I kind of hesitated on the Baybaddiebrie for
That's
1 second
true.
too.
So
So
there you
it's only fair. And what was the website that people could follow you at?
www.baybaddiebrie.com.
Okay. Not
Oh,
Baybaddiebrie.
Baybaddiebrie.com.
You even messed up on your own website.
No.
Baybaddiebrie.com.
You may have to pick up both of those domains.
Baybaddiebrie.com.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you messed up
Horrible.
again.
I'm getting a little nervous.
Uh-oh.
Because
Sam,
she
you're
forgot my
making her
name.
nervous.
She forgot my name. What else can I do? Shit. All right. It's all good. It's all good, Bree. All right, I'll go ahead and close out the shouts and plugs. First off, I'd like to thank my incredible co-host, Oscar Compassionate Wolf.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Yes, thank you for always supporting and making everything happen here on the Slam Show.
You are very welcome.
Baybaddiebrie.com
.com.
in the house. Thank you, sweetheart, for being able to come through on such a short notice. And we will see you hopefully over at Sneaker Pop-Up July 15th over at the Oakland Convention Center. And also shouts out to Rock Rage that's in the back here, making everything happen behind the scenes, keeping everything nice and tight. Welcome back, Rock Rage. Also shouts out to all of our sponsors and affiliates, all the Slam Show group members, including Lady Sage, Cindy, Joe Corzo, Mike Ill, Dr. L, Truth, let's see, Lawrence, Diego. Yeah, Diego, you should never broke Rock Rage's picture over there. He's all pissed off, but it's all good.
Oh.
He still loves you. And yeah, that does it. Be sure to follow me on all social media at I Am Slammin' across the board. And we will see you on the next episode. All right. We'll see you. Let the rhythm take you. Peace.
Bye.